Joining us right now for his perspective on the impact of coronavirus, what it's been doing to the markets, real estate, tourism, is Barry Sternlicht. He is the chairman and CEO of Starwood Capital Group. They have about $60 billion in assets under management. He's also the chairman and CEO of SH Hotels and Resorts. And Barry, thanks for being with us again this morning. It's good to see you.
Good morning, Becky. Thanks. Good to see you, too. I guess I can't see you. I'm on lockdown in Miami.
Are you? Okay. Well, when we talked to you, I guess it was just last week. Things are changing pretty quickly, though. You were pretty bullish about how we're doing with things, how we'll get through this.
I don't think I was optimistic. I mean, I said on another show that it was World War III for 90 days, and we're only 20 days into World War III. So it is a global war, and it's a global war not on each other, but on a virus. And it's a virus that'll pass. So I don't think anything's really changed other than I'm waiting to see Congress pass the package that will get money into the hands of unemployed workers, and there are going to be far more of them than probably I thought, given the rapidity of the spread and what's happening in the economy. We were ordered to shut our hotel here in Florida that had a bunch of guests in it, actually, that had come down from New England to spend the recovery period, and we had to send them home. And then the next night we had to fire nearly 1,000 workers at the hotel. So it's kind of tragic, and we need aid from Congress. The Democrats are wrong. We're not helping millionaires and billionaires. People, pension funds, individuals own these assets. They own the debt of these assets. They own the stocks that pay dividends on these assets across the whole real estate complex. And I think it's really just, and the Republicans are wrong about writing blank checks and sending money to people that don't need it, and the money should go to the people that do need it. So things like payroll tax cuts, delaying IRS payments, that's not really the issue. The issue is the unemployed. So it's not that hard to fix. You just ask us and every other employer who we laid off. You check their W-4 form. And the IRS checks the W that they in fact were employed, and then we have their addresses. We wired them the money. You can't have people go to unemployment lines and then stand there for 30 days and wait for an interview in 2 weeks. They need the money now. And we ourselves are creating our own rescue funds for our employees. There's so many GoFundMe programs now to help people. I'm so proud of the American people and our generous spirit, but Congress has to get their act together. I appreciate what the Fed did yesterday. It was great, but it wasn't complete. What you need is a freeze on mark-to-markets in the real estate market in particular. And I want to explain how this works for the average viewer, if I can. So you buy a house for $100 and you borrow $50 against the house. And then somebody calls you up and says your house is only worth $80. Now, nothing's really happened. Maybe the government shut down the block or something, right? So somebody says your house is worth $80. Now they say you have to pay down your 50-cent mortgage to 40 cents. And you look around and you say, maybe I have some money, maybe I can pay it down once, and I come up with my $10 to pay down the mortgage. That's called a mark-to-market, right? Or maybe you don't have the money to pay down the mortgage, so you have to sell the house, and you got to sell it in an instant. And so what's happening now is there are distress marks everywhere. People are trying to scramble to come up with liquidity. And those are not real marks. We saw this in 07 and 08. These are marks that are being forced by institutions that have to mark to market and have to call their loans or try to get cash from people who have cash to pay down the loans. And so you have this cascading effect. You sell the house at 70, not 80, where the bank told you, and the bank then calls the neighbor and says, your house is now only worth 70, not 100, and now you have to pay your mortgage down to 35. And you have this cascading negative effect. Well, what we need is a freeze. We need a freeze on mark-to-markets, and we need lenders to forbear if we're going to let individuals not pay their rents, or our businesses, which I think is compassionate and the right thing to do. Sorry about that. That was important.
No, your analogy, the only difference is on a mortgage, I'm not forced to pay down on my.
And then one of the institutions the other day needed cash and calls and says, I got to sell you. Will you bid this? This is a par note. This is worth, there's no scenario under which that resort isn't worth $600 million. And they have to sell it for 70, 80 cents. And then you go, oh, my God, is that really a mark? That's not the mark. That's a distressed seller. And so we saw this in 07, 08, and we're seeing it again. Sorry.
And I have to say, this time around sounds like even a better argument than last time for why these sales should be prohibited, or the mark should be prohibited at this point. Because
the mark should be, they just need to freeze them.
Right. If the mark was frozen, let's say, for 3 months, the assumption is that the world is going to get back and be back to a normal position sometime in a number of months. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think you need a 3-month. Germany, the UK, they're talking about 3-month forbearance on just a timeout. This is like my children had to take a timeout. Now the capital markets, the banks, some lending institutions, we ourselves, when we're a mezzanine lender, will forbear, and then the bank below us has to forbear. And I think everybody's working in a cooperative spirit. People are scared. This will come back. I mean, this is a virus, and I'm just as bullish as I was before, maybe more so. There's 39 stimulus packages. Rates are low. Commodity prices are low. There will be liquidity. The Fed is stimulating and overstimulating probably at the end of the day with trillions of dollars of programs. So we will come out of this. America is incredibly resilient and creative. And I'm listening to your show this morning about companies coming up with the materials, the respirators, the things we need to get to the hospitals. We have hotels that can serve as hospitals. I'm from New York. I mean, I don't think the Javits Center would be as nice as the Marriott Marquis for people who are sick. And also, if you look at the facts, and I want to talk a little bit about Trump's idea of reopening the economy, if it's okay. I mean, in my opinion, he's kind of right. If you look at the Italian data, which was through yesterday, 2,000 people died. No deaths under 30, not one. And then there was about 3 deaths, so maybe 2 of 1,000 to 40. We have 170 million people 40 years of age and under in the United States, and they could go back to work. And let me tell you how this is going to work. You're going to have these tests. There's a test that's coming out Friday. It'll be distributed Monday, which is 45 minutes to find out if you have coronavirus. You test everyone going back to work.
Barry,
people are healthy, go back.
Those tests are going to be... We've talked to so many people with testing, and first of all, the tests right now have 7, 9, 10-day delays. These new tests are faster. They're going to be going to people on the front lines, people in hospitals and healthcare workers who are showing symptoms on any of these things. It's going to be a while. We talked with the Roche CEO yesterday, who told us it will be weeks, if not months, before anybody who wants to get tested can get tested. So it's not going to happen overnight.
It's not going to happen overnight. It was a 90-day. It was a 90-day war. It wasn't a 1-day war.
Yeah. Potentially. 90 days might be.
Might be.
Go ahead.
Might be optimistic.
Yeah.
Barry, could we just speak though to your view that it sounds like you are supportive of the president's view to get back to work. I think we all want to get back to work. I think the question is when, and what does that timing look like? What do health experts and advisors actually say about that relative to the business community, which, of course, wants to get back to work, but also the risk that going back to work actually extends out the problem even longer, which is to say, you have the testing issue. By the way, if you think that people are going to need masks or gloves or other things, that is probably not going to be available to people, definitely not within the next week or two, more likely maybe within the next 4 weeks, given some of the data and statistics we've seen. Okay.
I think if you looked at the curve in California last night,
if we're sending people back to work next week.
No, not next week.
But if we're sending people back to work next week, and I'm not saying we are, I think that may pose a longer-term challenge because it will extend out the true economic damage. And I'd also just make one point, which is to say that, yes, the statistics are positive on a relative basis if death is your metric for people under 40 years old. But there are huge numbers of people under 40 years old that are ending up in the ICU in the hospital.
Yes.
And so I'm not so sure, A, that that's a great idea, and B, that young people, once they actually know the data, are actually going to go back into the world and the economy en masse if they know those numbers.
So if we have the stimulus in the right places to help the unemployed, if we stay home for, let's say, 4 weeks, maybe 6 weeks, if we tell the banks they should forbear, and then interim lenders like the mortgage companies forbear, and then people who don't have the money to pay their rent forbear, we can have an economic timeout. And then I think in 3-4 weeks, this is a virus, Andrew. This will pass. 150 to 550,000 people died with the H1N1 virus in 2009. It took the WHO 10 months to call it a pandemic. If you had a counter on every single person that was in a car crash on a screen every day, and you saw the 40,000 people that die in car crashes every day, if you saw a counter on every person who died from the flu or then you would be in a panic every day of your life, and you would ban cars.
Barry,
I'm not saying my mom is 86. My mom is 86. I'm telling her to stay home. I make stay home, Mom,
right.
Stay home. I'll send you deliveries, right? And that's what I'm doing with my mom.
The only distinction I'm making, look, 4 to 6 weeks out, I think you're going to know a lot more information. You're going to be able to make an educated decision about this. My anxiety, based on the numbers I'm seeing and the reporting that I'm doing, is this idea that people are going to reevaluate next on Monday, literally on Monday, and that's the conversation we're going to have. That seems less advisable.
I don't think I agree with you. I mean, I just want to say that when I hear it's going to take 9 months or a year and a half, we can't handle that. So we have to reevaluate this in a couple weeks. We've already shut it down. I mean, people are working from home. My team is working from home. But I think financial suicide and the ramifications for 401ks, pension plans, people's life savings, their net worths, the average American, I mean, that also has to come into the equation. And that's where I kind of agree with the president, frankly, because you cannot kill an economy, the largest economy in the world. We don't have enough money to fix it, and it's not fixable. So it's a balance. That's all I'm saying, because I've never seen a counter of deaths every day of my life on TV, right? I mean, I've never seen that. And if I saw it for the flu, I would probably freak out. For regular flu, I'd probably be freaking out too. So I think Congress has to get this bill passed. We all agree. They have to get the money to the people who need it. There shouldn't be redundant programs. It should be laser-like surgical strike by a government that has the resources to do the things they need to do. And then we have to calm people down. Americans, I don't know. I went for a bike ride yesterday. I'm a little stuck in my house. People are smiling. They're cooperating. The American spirit is generous. We'll get through this. We're innovative. And I hear the comparisons to the 1918 flu. Think about technology today. Think about computer. They didn't have a computer in 1918. This is not 1918. That's just irresponsible, right? We have so much DNA testing. We can do all kinds of bombardment today of viruses and see what works and doesn't work. Even last 10 years, I mean, the technology has moved so far. We will come up with a way to fix this. And people should be optimistic. We're going to get through this. And I just think to say we're going to shut the economy down for 2 years or 18 months is just ridiculous. I mean, it is a flu. It will pass. It's passed in China. It's passed in Korea. It's passed in Hong Kong. It's passed in Singapore. So it will pass. It looks like it might be passing in Italy. So let's get on with it. The market's up. Well, let's get on with it. Let's get on with it. That's my message, right? I mean, we need to be laser-like strike in what we need to do with our stimulus, and the world will survive. And the U.S. economy will come out of this fairly strong, I think. I think people will restock their shelves, and they'll buy their cosmetics, and they'll take their vacations. I think the retail complex is going to have a harder time, by the way. So the retail complex has had a lot of weak companies in it going into the crisis, and it's going to be very difficult for some of these companies to survive. There were structural issues. That's kind of the equivalent of the 80-year-old with a pre-existing condition. I mean, this is a hit over the head that's just very hard to come back from.